Hello everyone. So today we will be doing 50 most repeated basic to intermediate level MCQs of environment. Okay, so this will be important for your upcoming Sikkim Excise Inspector Examinations. Okay, so in this video what I will be doing is there will be some concepts which I will be teaching you along with the questions. Okay, as we solve the questions I will be teaching you those concepts as well. Okay, so the first question is who coined the term ecology? The correct answer here would be option A, Ernest Haeckel. Okay, so if you feel the video is slow, then you can speed it up and you can watch at any speed you feel comfortable. You can watch it at 1.5x or 1.25x, any speed you feel comfortable with. Okay, so the second question is the term ecosystem was first proposed by whom in 1935? So your options are A.G. Tansley, E.P. Odom, option C, G. Evelyn Hutchinson, or D. R. Mishra. The correct answer would be A.G. Tansley. Question number 3 is which of the following is the primary source of energy in an ecosystem? Okay, primary source of energy in an ecosystem. See, in this question many students tend to make mistakes. Okay, so here are your options. Option A, green plants, option B, sun, option C, ATP, and option D, biomass. See, when you tend to see this primary source of energy, primary source, okay, so sometimes you might mark it as green plants, right? But this is not correct answer. The correct answer is sun. Since sun, like it provides it is the primary source of energy in an ecosystem. Okay. There is also a catch. There might be a question which say that sun is the primary source of energy in all ecosystems. Will that be a true statement, or will that be a false statement? Okay, see, it will be a false statement. You might think it is true, but when you think about, see, in oceans, okay, in the depth, in abyssal plains, in the depth of oceans, sunlight doesn't reach, right? Sunlight hardly reaches there, so it is not a primary source of energy in the depths of oceans. So we'll go to question number 4. The flow of energy in an ecosystem is always bidirectional, cyclic, unidirectional, or multidirectional. The correct answer would be unidirectional. So see, I'll show you this in the diagram. See, for example, primary producers, right? Who are primary producers? Primary producers are like the primary producers are plants, right? Plants, green plants and all, right? But who are the primary consumers? The animals which eat plants and all. Example, deer. Okay, and then secondary consumer. Okay, like there will be other animals and all. See, there might be several levels. Okay, but the energy flow will always be in a unidirectional way. See, plants will be eaten by deer will be eaten by lions and all. It will never be the opposite way around, right? It will never be this way. It will always be in one direction, and hence the answer is unidirectional. Okay, this is your energy pyramid. So next question is what percentage of energy is transferred from one trophic level to the next according to Lindeman 10% rule? See, sometimes 10% rule, sometimes they might just give Lindeman's law. Okay, so you have to remember this, Lindeman's 10% law. What percentage? Okay, see, you can see it from the question itself, right? The answer would be 10%. See, in this diagram you have 100% energy, right? So in the next level only 10% energy will be transferred. Okay, so that will be 10% of 100 will be 10, so 10%, right? So in the next level again only 10% will be transferred, so 1% is the 10% of 10, right? So in similar way, in the next trophic level it will be 0.1%, and in the next trophic level it will be 0.01%, right? So this is the 10% rule of Lindeman. Okay, similarly, see, I will teach you another rule that is known as Allen's rule. Okay, Allen's rule. As you can see in this figure, that see, the animals, okay, their ears are getting smaller, right? Their ears are getting smaller. So according to Allen's rule, what does it say is that, see, in colder regions animals' ears and limbs, etc. Okay, they ears, limbs, they tend to get smaller and shorter. For example, you might have seen a polar bear, right? So their ears are tiny, right? Why is it that they have tiny ears? Because it will help them, reduce the energy loss. It will help them reduce energy loss, right? So whereas if you can see in a tropical region, you can see an elephant, right? So example, like you can take polar bear, right? In tropical region, what you can see is that elephants, okay, they have big ears. Why do they have big ears? So that they can dissipate energy from there and they can cool off their body. Okay, which of the following pyramids is always upright in any ecosystem? Pyramid of numbers, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of energy, or none of the above? See, it's saying always upright. Okay, the correct answer would be pyramid of energy. See, there are different types of, when we talk about pyramids, okay, there are different types of pyramids in an ecosystem. Okay, for example, one is the pyramid of energy, second is pyramid of biomass, third is pyramid of numbers. See, energy, it is always going to be upright. Okay, it is always going to be upright. So I'll show you in this picture, okay, different kinds of, see, this is pyramid of numbers. Okay, let me transfer it. See, this is pyramid of numbers, right? Pyramid of numbers can be inverted as well, okay, or otherwise it can be spindle shaped. You see this, spindle shaped. So if they ask you which pyramid can be in an ecosystem can be spindle shaped, the answer will be pyramid of numbers. Okay, and we have another type of pyramid, that is pyramid of biomass. Okay, see, it can be upright pyramid of biomass. For example, you have producers, right, grass. So the number of, okay, the biomass that it will be eating these plants, for example, deer, rabbit, etc., they will be lesser in number, right? So the next one is wolf, or the top carnivore being lion. See, biomass decreases, right? Whereas it can be the other way around also. Inverted pyramid is always in an aquatic ecosystem. Okay, so you should keep this in mind. This is an important point. Okay, you can take a screenshot if you want to. So we'll go on to the next question. Question number 7. The transitional zone between two diverse ecosystems is known as ecosphere, ecotone, ecotype, or niche. So the correct answer here would be ecotone. This is an important question because it has been asked many times in the SPSC examinations. Okay, so okay, let me explain you what an ecotone is. Okay, see, ecotone, as we can see, it is a transitional zone. For example, if this is a land zone, okay, for example, okay, this is land zone and this is an aquatic ecosystem, this is the transition zone, this is an ecotone. For example, this is mangroves, okay, mangrove forest, mangroves is a ecotone. See, for example, this is land, okay, and then if I draw another diagram here, and then see, this is forest, for example, this is forest, this is forest, and consider this as grassland. Okay, consider this as forest and consider this as just let it be. So another example would be desert. Okay, desert is also an ecotone or a transitional zone. Okay, for example, you have forest, not desert, it is grassland. This is grassland. Okay, so this is forest example. For example, this is forest and this is grassland, and here is desert, right? So if you go from forest to a desert, you won't suddenly find a boundary, right? Like this is, here you have lots of vegetation and this is desert from here, but you'll find a gradual transition. Okay, so this transitional zone is grassland in this case, and in here between aquatic ecosystem and forest, the transitional zone is mangroves. We have another concept here that is also known as edge species. Edge species or edge effect. What is that? See, what does edge effect means is that, see, since this is a transition zone, you can find animals here from both the sides, right? You can find some aquatic animals, you can find some animals from the forest area, and you will also find some animals that don't exist in both the ecosystem but only exist here. Okay, so that is edge effect. And edge effect means you will find greater number of species will be more in this region. See, as you can see this graph, okay, this is the number of species here. It is less, it grows, and here it goes lesser again. Okay, so this effect, this is known as edge effect, and edge species are the species found in the ecotone area. Okay, on to the next question, question number 8. An organism's functional role and position in its environment is called as option A, habitat, option B, biome, option C, ecological niche, or trophic level. See, whenever you see this word functional role, the correct answer is always going to be ecological niche. Okay, so let me show you what a niche means. See, you might have a tree. Okay, a tree is a habitat for birds. Okay, different kind of birds. In a tree only there is not only one species of bird that lives, but there are different species of bird. This tree is a habitat, okay, habitat to these birds. But see, what happens is that there are different birds living in different areas of the different parts of the trees. Some might live in the topmost area, some might live in the middle part, okay, and some might live in the bottom part. So this is what they are showing. Okay, see, this is known as ecological niche, means like it is your specific address. Okay, it is your address where you live, that is known as niche. Question number 9. Okay, biodiversity is richest in which of the following regions? Tundra region, temperate forest, tropical rainforest, or deserts? See, deserts you can eliminate, right? And tundra region is very cold region, so you can eliminate this also. So between temperate forest and tropical rainforest, we know that tropical rainforest is the correct answer, which has the richest biodiversity. Okay, tropical rainforest has the richest biodiversity. So question number 10. Who coined the term biodiversity? The correct answer is option A, Walter G. Rosen. So these are factual questions, you just have to kind of remember it, okay, memorize it. Option number 11. Which region in India is recognized as a global biodiversity hotspots? Is it Thar Desert, Eastern Himalayas and Western Ghats, Indo-Gangetic Plains, or Deccan Plateau? So the correct answer is Eastern Himalayas and Western Ghats. How many biological diversity hotspots are there in India? There are 4 in total. 4 in total. Okay, so here is a map. See, show you. See, this is the Himalayan region. Okay, this is the Himalayan region. This is the Western Ghats. Okay, and this is Indo-Burma, and this is Sundaland. See, in one of the confusions here can be, see, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, they don't come together. Andaman, it comes in Indo-Burma region, and Nicobar Island comes in Sundaland region. Okay, Andaman comes in the Indo-Burma region, and these are the Western Ghats and these are the Himalayas. Okay, so these are 4 biodiversity hotspots of India. Next one is in situ conservation, refers to conservation of animals in zoological parks, conservation of plants in botanical gardens, protection of species in the natural habitat, or the cryopreservation of gametes. The correct answer is option C. Okay, protection of species in their natural habitats. See, in situ conservation, and see which of the following is an example of ex situ conservation. So this becomes important because it also has been asked many times in the SPSC examination. Which of the following is an example of ex situ conservation? Is it national park? Is it biosphere reserve? Is it wildlife sanctuary or seed bank or botanical garden? The correct answer is option number D. So let me show you the difference between two. Okay, in situ conservation means when you are conserving animal or species, any species, flora or fauna, in their own or natural habitat, right? For example, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves and sacred groves, they are examples of in situ conservation. National parks, see, animals are kept in forest where they live, which is their natural habitat. Okay, wildlife sanctuaries are the same, biosphere reserves are same. See, we have Kanchenjunga Biosphere Reserve, right? So Kanchenjunga Biosphere Reserve is a home to habitat to many different animals such as red panda, snow leopards and all. So ex situ conservation is when the species are taken out to some other place and conserved other than their natural habitat. Okay, somewhere other than their natural habitat. For example, we have zoological parks. We have zoos, right, where see, different animals are brought and kept. Botanical gardens, we have gene banks, we have cryopreservation, right? So that is the difference between in situ and ex situ conservation. Question number 14, the red data book, okay, which containing list of threatened species is published by UNEP, WWF, IUCN or IPCC. The correct answer is IUCN, which is International Union for Conservation of Nature. Okay. Question number 15. Sikkim became the first state in the world to become fully organic. Right, this is an easy question. Everyone should know this. Question number 16. Kanchenjunga National Park, located in Sikkim, is designated as a Ramsar site only, UNESCO Mixed World Heritage Site, Marine Protected Area or Tiger Reserve. See, we all know that it is not a tiger reserve. It is not a marine protected area. It is not a Ramsar site only. It is a UNESCO Mixed World Heritage Site. And Kanchenjunga National Park is the only UNESCO Mixed World Heritage Site in India. Next, which is the state animal of India? Everyone knows this. It is red panda, right? Easy question. Which greenhouse gas has the highest concentration in the Earth's atmosphere? So see, you might find different answers. Some it's given as carbon dioxide. In sometimes it is given as water vapor. Okay, so I'll just look into it and I'll give you a definitive answer in the next video. Okay, for example, for now, just mark it as carbon dioxide. Okay. Next one is question number 19. The Montreal Protocol is associated with the protection of ozone layer, wetland ecosystems, endangered species or marine pollution. The correct answer is ozone layer. It is associated with the protection of ozone layer. Okay. Kyoto Protocol deals with reduction of greenhouse gases, control of hazardous waste, protection of biodiversity or elimination of persistent organic pollutants. It is reduction of greenhouse gases. Okay. Next is the term biomagnification refers to increase in population sizes in organism, accumulation of toxic substances at successive trophic levels, growth of plants under high intensity or increase in global temperature. The correct answer is option B, accumulation of toxic substances in successive trophic levels. Okay, so let me show you. There are two terms that you guys might confuse it with. The one is bioaccumulation. Okay, the another one is biomagnification. See, you can see here the word accumulation, right? What does accumulation mean? Accumulation means in the same species, suppose there is one fish, okay, due to nutrients, due to different kind of marine pollution, or suppose example arsenic gets deposited in its body. Okay, so first there is some amount, second there is some amount, and it keeps accumulating in the same species, okay, in the same individual. That is known as bioaccumulation. Whereas biomagnification, you can see here, for example, you have some animal which is, you have some small fishes, okay, these fishes are in turn eaten by larger fishes. So what happens is, this large fish is obviously going to eat 3 to 4 small fishes, okay. So here the chemical deposited will be more. Now a larger fish will eat these smaller fishes. So if there is one amount, okay, 1 unit in each fish, and this fish eats 4 fish, then it becomes 4, okay. So what you can see is it's magnifying. Now suppose this fish eats 2 more, okay, then it becomes 8, right? So what you can see is it is magnifying. Now this polar bear at the last, which is the apex predator, it eats 3 fishes, okay, then it becomes 24 units. See, you can see it's magnifying, okay, it's getting magnified. So this is biomagnification. Whereas bioaccumulation means the accumulation in one individual or species, okay. The next one, question number 22. Minamata disease is caused by poisoning of cadmium, mercury, arsenic, or lead. It is mercury. So you also have a Minamata Convention. Minamata Convention of 2013. Remember that. So next one is Itai disease is caused by the pollution of cadmium, lead, mercury, or fluoride. The correct answer is cadmium, okay. Itai disease is also known as ouch, okay. So it literally translates to ouch means like you have pain in your body, right? So this is ouch disease. It is known as, so the causing agent is cadmium. Next one is blue baby syndrome is caused by high levels of which component in drinking water? Sulfates, nitrates, chlorides, or phosphates? The correct answer is nitrates. Okay, question number 25. What causes the phenomenon of eutrophication in water bodies? A. Depletion of nutrients. Option B, option C, or option D? Which one is it? The correct answer is enrichment of plant nutrients, okay. So let me show you the eutrophication, okay, the process of eutrophication. Okay, for example, see, we have a fresh water body here, okay, and due to agricultural runoff, due to the fertilizers that we use, which are washed away by the rainwater, so see, like for example, we have nitrogen, phosphorus, and other plant nutrients which are washed away and brought to the nearby water body, for example lakes and ponds. Due to this excessive nutrients, what happens is there is a growth in algae, which is known as algal bloom. There is a growth in algae. So this water ages and becomes unfit, okay. When algae blooms, the sunlight is blocked, and other aquatic plants and animals die due to less sunlight, okay. See, due to more number of nutrients, what happens is bacterial decomposition depletes oxygen also. So there is decrease in oxygen, okay. That condition is known as hypoxic condition, which creates a dead zone. Means plants and animals can no longer survive in this eutrophic water. Next one is BOD. BOD stands for option A, B, C, D. The correct option is 1, biological oxygen demand. There is another concept which is also known as COD, which is known as chemical oxygen demand. Chemical oxygen demand. You can see the difference between two here, okay. So we'll move on to the next question. Question number 27. Which of the following gases is primarily responsible for acid rain? CON, CO2, SO2, and NOx, CFCs and CH4, or ozone and methane? The correct answer is sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. Question number 28. The Wildlife Protection Act in India was enacted in the year 1972, 1980, 1986, or 2002. The correct answer is 1972. See, while revising, you can just write Wildlife Protection Act 1972. You just pronounce it together, okay, along with the year, so it will help you remember it easier, in an easier manner. Next one is Environment Protection Act or EPA was passed in the wake of which tragedy? Is it Chernobyl disaster, Bhopal gas tragedy, Visakhapatnam gas leak, or Ganga water pollution crisis? The correct answer is Bhopal gas tragedy, okay. It was enacted in 1986. Question number 30. The National Action Plan on Climate Change NAPCC comprises of how many core missions? Correct answer is option number B, 8. Okay. Which of the following is a primary pollutant? Ozone, peroxyacetyl nitrate, carbon monoxide, or smoke? The correct answer is carbon monoxide, okay. So see, you have pollution, right? Pollution causing agents are known as pollutant, and there are two types of pollutant that we can classify them as. One is primary and the other is secondary pollutants, okay. To show you this, primary and secondary pollutants, right? What are primary pollutants? Primary pollutants, for example, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide. These are gases which are directly emitted by polluting sources, for example from vehicular emission, from factories, okay. And when primary pollutants react with each other, okay, primary pollutants, they produce secondary pollutants, okay. For example, SO3, H2SO4, or peroxyacetyl nitrates, okay. That is the difference between primary and secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants are directly emitted from the polluting sources, whereas secondary pollutants are created when primary pollutants react with each other. The Chipko movement started in which state? The correct answer is B, Uttarakhand, okay. So there is another movement that you've heard about maybe, that is Apiko movement, okay. Apiko movement. So basically Chipko movement and Apiko movement are the same, but see, Chipko movement was in northern India, whereas Apiko movement was in southern India. There is a naming difference, but the concept is the same. Ramsar Convention, okay, focuses on the conservation of A, wetlands, B, tropical forests, C, coral reefs, or D, grasslands. The correct answer here is wetlands, right? So Sikkim also has got its Ramsar site recently. It's been over a year maybe. So that is Kichupelli Lake. Question number 34. World Environment Day is celebrated annually on? That is 5th June. Okay, we will move on to the next one. Which layer of the atmosphere contains the ozone layer that absorbs UV radiation? Is it troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, or thermosphere? The correct answer here would be stratosphere, okay. What is the unit of measuring ozone layer thickness? Is it decibel, Dobson unit, angstrom, or hertz? The correct answer would be Dobson unit. See, decibel, it's used to measure the loudness of sound. Angstrom, it is used to measure length, okay, and hertz, it's used to measure the frequency. So you can see here, see, stratosphere has stratospheric ozone layer, okay, and it protects us from UV rays. It totally filters out the UVC radiation and partially filters out the UVB, whereas UVA can pass through the ozone layer. Next one, okay, which one of the following is, question number 37, which of the following is a non-renewable source of energy? Solar energy, it is a renewable source of energy. This is wrong. Geothermal energy, this is, we generally consider this as renewable source of energy. Nuclear energy, uranium. See, technically this nuclear energy is not a renewable source of energy, because you can like, it is exhaustible, right? It is exhaustible, but what happens is, see, the amount of energy it produces is very large and the quantity required for it is very less. So we generally consider this as a renewable source of energy. The correct answer would be biomass energy. Non-renewable is biomass energy. Question number 38. Biofuels are primarily derived from A. Petroleum reserves, B. Biomass and organic matter, C. Coal tar, or D. Natural gas. Biofuels. See, you have bio in this word, means like it is derived from living beings, or it is biomass and organic matter. Biomass and organic matter. Okay, so take a look, have a look at E20, because it has been in the news. What is E20? Ethanol, right? Ethanol, you all should all know that ethanol is mixed with petrol, like 20% ethanol. Suppose you talk about E10, that is 10% ethanol, okay? So E20, have a look at it, because it has been in the news for a very long time now. Question number 39. The concept of sustainable development was popularized by which report? A. Brundtland Report, B. Limits to Growth Report, C. Rio Declaration, or D. Kyoto Report. The correct answer is Brundtland Report. See, nowadays we have SDGs, right? SDGs. What are those? Those are Sustainable Development Goals. How many goals are there? There are 17 SDGs, okay? 17 SDGs. But before SDGs, what did we have? We have MDGs. Before SDGs, we had MDGs. What are MDGs? Those are Millennial Development Goals. And then nowadays we have Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so they might ask, what was the precursor to SDGs? That will be MDG, or Millennial Development Goals. Okay, to the next question, question number 40. Which of the following is considered an indicator species for air pollution, especially sulfur dioxide? Lichens, frogs, honeybees, or earthworms? The correct answer is option number A, lichens, indicator species. Next one is question number 41. The National Biodiversity Authority of India is headquartered at New Delhi, Dehradun, Chennai, or Bengaluru? Correct answer is option number C, Chennai. Okay. Which biogeochemical cycles does not have any gaseous phase in the atmosphere? A. Nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, or water cycle? So we know that nitrogen exists as a gas in gas, so it cannot be true, right? So it has a gaseous phase. Water cycle, we know it evaporates, it doesn't have a gaseous phase. Carbon cycle, see, you have carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, right? So it also exists in the air. So the correct answer is phosphorus cycle. These are different kinds of biogeochemical cycles. So you can see here, right? Nitrogen, we have nitrogen cycle, we have phosphorus cycle, water cycle, potassium cycle, carbon cycle. Question number 43C. This also has been asked many a times. Joint forest management in SPSC. Okay, what is the main objective of joint forest management? A. Commercial timber harvesting by private companies. No. Involving local communities in forest protection and management. Complete ban on local entry in forest. No. Conversion of forest into agricultural lands. No, right? So see this. So there can be a question. See, what is the ideal percentage of area that should be under forest cover that India is aspiring? Okay, India is aspiring, that is 33% of land area should be forest cover. That is ideal. Currently it's about 23% to 24%. Okay, whichever number is closer, you can mark that. Currently this is the forest cover percentage of India. Next one is question number 44. Which Indian state has the maximum geographical area under forest cover? Maximum geographical area. Arunachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh or Odisha? Correct answer is Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Question number 45. In Sikkim, Chongma Lake is a high altitude glacial lake situated at an elevation of over 12,000 feet. What is its ecological significance? It is a major wetland habitat and tourist attraction. It is an artificial reservoir for hydroelectricity, so you can cut this out. It is a marine ecosystem, or it is an extinct volcanic crater. Alright, so the correct answer would be option A. Next one is, which international agreement aims to combat desertification and land degradation? Is it UNCCD, UNFCCC, UNCBD or CITES? The correct answer is UNCCD, which is known as United Nations on combating desertification. Okay. See, UNCCD stands for United Nations Convention on combating desertification. UNFCCC, this is United Nations Framework on Convention for Climate Change. Okay. UNCBD, it is United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. And CITES is Convention on International Trade in Endangered species. Okay. So next one is question number 47. Project Tiger was launched in India in which year? 1970, 1973, 1981 or 1992? The correct answer is 1973. See, for example, you know, right, Wildlife Protection Act was enacted in 1972. So in the very next year, Project Tiger was implemented in 1973. So if you remember this way, so you can remember the date of both easily. Next one, the term carbon credit originates from which protocol? Kyoto Protocol, Montreal Protocol, Paris Agreement or Cartagena Protocol? The correct answer is Kyoto Protocol. So second last question, what type of forest is predominantly found in temperate higher elevation of Sikkim? Mangroves, coniferous and rhododendron forest, thorn scrub forest or tropical deciduous forest? See, scrub forest means in desert areas. We don't have desert in Sikkim. Mangroves we don't have. Tropical deciduous forest, this is not the correct answer. We have rhododendrons and coniferous forest. Okay, in higher elevations. See, generally when you think about higher elevations, what might come to your mind is pine trees and all, right? Pine trees, rhododendrons. So the correct answer is option number B. Last question. The main gas released from paddy fields that contribute to global warming is carbon dioxide, methane, sulfur dioxide or nitrogen dioxide? The main gas released from paddy fields. The correct answer is methane. Methane is also released by cattle. Okay, cattle or ruminants. What a ruminants is that, see, you might have seen cows like chewing, right? What they do is they have a different digestive tract. Okay, they eat food and then they store that food not in the stomach. Okay, so when they are free, they bring back, they ruminate. Okay, ruminate means they bring back to their mouth, they chew again, and then next time, okay, and now it goes to their stomach. Okay, so these animals are known as ruminants. They also release methane. Yes, okay, so this will be it for today. Thank you and see you in the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so you can comment down if you would like to make videos on any related topics on your upcoming examinations. Thank you. So do like and subscribe. See you in the next video.